live now. Okay. Oh, okay. That goes down to here.
Hey everybody, it's Deanna with toolsofenergyprotection.com, your energy shift expert. Woo! I just got out of the pool, so my hair is still a little wet, and I am super excited to be with you tonight because there's so much happening on this planet. Things are changing faster and faster and faster, and I'm like, woohoo! How much faster can it possibly go? And then it goes faster, so I'm not asking that question anymore. Anyway, I don't have my headset on, so hopefully you all can hear me. And tonight, I was going to talk to you about ancestors, ascension, and angels. That's the three things I wanted to talk to you about. Because right now, everyone that has contacted me is experiencing, of course, similar things. And either their angels are trying to talk to them and they're not getting it, or their ancestors are trying to talk to them and they're not getting it, and therefore they're not ascending to a higher level consciousness. So that's why I'm standing in front of my lovely whiteboard, and yes, it has a few bumps and bruises. It's been with me for a while now. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to talk to you about those three things, but I wanted to use a visual tonight because I would like for you to see how this is affecting you. Okay? How this is affecting you. So, hold on one second. I want to just make sure I stay in the picture. Okay? Okay, sorry. Road crew. Anyway, so, can you look here and see how many people are on? Make sure I got a few people on there. I won't be able to see all of your comments right because I got the camera backwards tonight.
6.
Okay, so I'll have to have some help with that. Anyway, so right now where we are in space and time, I didn't bring my Schumann's, which I normally do, but today is Tuesday, Sunday going into Monday night. We had a lot of agitation at the highest level of Schumann's, of just very little, but it would go for about 45 minutes. It would stop for about 15 and then go again. You can go to toolsofenergyprotection.com and on the blog, and I will put that up later for you to see. But what's happening is we're getting these over and over and over again. It has a lot to do with the planetary alignment. So if you follow astronomy or the scientific part of astrology, you're going to know that we've had eclipses and moons, and this formation of planets has not been with us since 1878. I think it was the year that the country was divided, and they were trying to decide pro or con for having slavery, and Kansas was a hotbed. And so also in 1776, when the Constitution was signed, we had similar planets as well, and that's why they waited to the 4th instead of the 3rd, because they wanted to have the vibrational frequency to push America as far forward into the future as it could be. So, come up to current time. COVID came. Actually, what happened was the planets aligned, and they grabbed everybody's attention to get everyone to take a look at themselves. And COVID was a perfect cover because it went all the way around the globe, made all of humanity stop and question themselves. The problem was it caused a lot of anxiety and a lot of depression, and it caused a lot of domestic quarrels and domestic crises because people were locked up with people they weren't used to being with for 24/7 for like a month, or even maybe you are maybe still in quarantine. So that caused all kinds of emotional issues. So you think about the wonderfulness of this, check this out. Everybody has to stop and take a breath on the entire planet. Everybody has to stop and take a look at their personal crap, growing pains, things from their inner child, things that haven't been fixed yet, and the perfect mirror are the people in their family. I know, not funny, right? So we've been working through that. And the other thing I'd like for you to think about is, this says 5D. Let's see if I can get this to go thicker. Can you see it forwards this time? Is it forwards?
Well, we got that lag, so I got to wait till you start doing it.
So I'm just making sure this is forward. So if it's not, this is 5D.
It should be, because your shirt is.
Okay, this is a very important point. Then we're going to talk about ancestors. 5D. is not equal to 5G. Alright, I might have to use a different pen. Can you tell it's been a while since I've been in the office? Alright, so 5, here it goes. 5D does not equal 5G. What does that mean? Am I still in the picture?
Yeah, but I can't see. I might have to shut this off.
Okay, so what's happening is the 5th dimension is where we are being opened up to on this planet right now. Okay? The 5th dimension. This is dimension 3, our faces. Okay? Our bodies, our human bodies, this is the 3D world. The 4th dimension is the spirit realm. Okay? Are you getting better lighting over there?
Yeah.
Okay. And the 5th dimension is where light begins to come down and form into matter. So far, since I've been alive, and for at least a couple hundred years that I know of, humankind, no matter how much they meditated or prayed or went to an ashram or were a Buddhist monk, they were not able to access the 5th dimension, where the light frequency starts coming into the spirit frequency. It just wasn't happening. And that's why shaman spent their whole lives trying to attend to that level, and it just wasn't possible. Well, now that level is not only possible, it's accessible, and it is easily accessible to all human beings. Every person on this planet has access to the 5th dimension. And that's where light starts to come down into matter. So, what does that mean? It means that if you are already spiritually gifted, or you have extrasensory perception, or you're a highly sensitive person, you're already geared up for this. You do not have to go anywhere. Anyway, you don't have to go anywhere to be in the 5th dimension. You know, you don't have to suit up. You don't have to meditate. You don't have to do anything, because you already have the ability to be in the 5th dimension. It's yours. Okay? You might need some tuning up. You may not know how to grasp it. It may be causing you a lot of issues when these frequency waves are going. It may cause you a lot of issues because you'll have headaches. Some mornings you get up and you feel like you just want to vomit, and there's no reason. Now, if the 3D bodies had too much to drink, or if you had the wrong food to eat or something like that, maybe your body has a reason to feel nauseous. But if you get up some mornings and you just feel nauseous and there's no reason and you're not pregnant, it's probably because your body, your physical body, is adjusting to the 5th dimensional frequency, because your spirit body's already there. When the 5th dimension opens, your spirit body says, I am already there. Now the two are trying to catch up. 5th dimension is not to be confused with 5G. Okay? My understanding is that somewhere in the technical world with cell phones, there's something called 5G, which is, I haven't studied it all, but it's a wireless network, and it's supposed to be real powerful, and people have been telling me that it's interfering with people's energy fields. And that may be true, but it is not the 5th dimension. So if you're having issues over here with 5G, that's way different than the 5th dimension opening up. Okay? How do I know the difference? I really haven't studied 5G too much, but I know if you're in a high volt or a high frequency area, it'll mess with all kinds of things in your body. So do your research, go find out what the symptoms are. I live in this world, not that world, okay? Anyway, I wanted to make that very clear because a lot of people are confusing the two. So it's two different things. Symptoms may be similar. Now, if I can get one of my pens to work, yeah, we're going to talk about ancestors and what's happening in people's energy fields. When I tell you this, if you're like, oh, that's me, okay? You have 2 opportunities coming up to work with me. One is Thursday. I'll be at For Heaven's Sakes Books in Denver, Colorado. And you say, oh, I don't live in Denver and my Learjet's in the shop. No problem. Call the store at 303-964-9339. That's 964-9339 and ask to get on my schedule on Thursday or Friday of this week. And I will work with you in what I'm about to reveal to you. I know how to access this. I know how to balance this out and give you a roadmap so you can ascend higher. Because if your ancestors are working with you, your ancestors are trying to tell you what it is they can see from the spirit side needs to be done in the 3D world in order for you to ascend and this whole planet to ascend, because we are getting near a crisis point. Okay? I want you to think about this logically. I asked my guides when the next crisis point is, and they said October 24th. Now, if you remember, 2 Tuesdays ago, we looked at Schumann's, and I'd studied it enough that I said, it looks like we'll probably have a big, white spot after this. And sure enough, the next day, boom, there it was, right? Why October 24th? We'll talk about that in a minute. Here's what's going on with your ancestors. All right, this is you, happy smiley face person. Your ancestors can be your grandparents, right? If you're old enough, could also be your parents. And it could be great-grandparents. Okay? It can be any of these. So what happens is when these people come from the other side, so they're actually living in the fifth dimension, if you want to say that's heaven, okay? And they're coming in because now, guess what? They can, because the 5th dimension is open. That means they can easily come in and they can easily go out into your personal energy field. Is this still in the camera? Can you see me? Okay. So, this is your happy self, right? I'm not the best artist, but here you are, little stick figure self. And so what happens is when your grandparents come in from a higher frequency, or parents or great-grandparents, they come in from the higher frequency, and this you could consider to be what they call heaven, okay? Higher frequency. They're coming in to your current electromagnetic frequency, okay? Okay, so I know this is rather long, but this is all important. So for those of you that have told me that they don't like to watch the videos for so long, put a pause here and come back when you're ready for the second part, okay? Anyway, so if this is the green bit is your electromagnetic field. So if you take your arms and stretch them straight out and then you turn in a circle, that's your personal energy field. That's where your chakras feed out and form an egg shape. Anything coming into that energy field is going to disturb it. Anything. It does not matter what it is. But in this case, we're talking about your ancestors. And they are trying to tell you different things. And if you can't hear them, excuse me, you're going to start feeling things in your body. Can you pass me that water? You're going to, excuse me, long day in the pool. So what's going to happen is they're going to come into your energy field. The 5th dimension, in order for them to come in your energy field, they have to come into the 4th dimension, and then they have to slow down to the 3rd. And when they do that, your body will feel off. Your mind will feel off. And you're like, what does off feel like? You will have some really weird dreams. I had a young man that worked with me today, beautiful man, and his grandfather was in his energy field. And he had weird dreams about his grandfather because his grandfather was trying to tell him something. So if they can't get your attention when you're awake, they will wait until your dream state. And you will have all kinds of funky dreams. And in those dreams, sometimes they'll look like themselves and sometimes they won't. And you'll wake up sometimes not knowing what's going on. Other times the message is clear. That's your ancestors. And if you can't hear that message, You're going to be feeling some anxiety. You might feel like you should know something that you don't. You may feel on edge a lot, exhausted, things like that. So if you're having this challenge and you think your ancestors are talking to you, then I want you to get a hold of me. And the reason for that, if they can talk to you and you can hear them, or you're getting the message, don't bother calling. But there are so many important things, because let me tell you what comes when ancestors talk to you. All right, I've had about 16 clients that I've worked with regarding their ancestors. And here are some of the energies. I'll put them right on the board. These are the energies that have traveled through family genetics. Okay, does that make sense? Through family genetics. So what happens is, I'm going to do this up here. Here's your happy self. Here's your parents. And then you got parents over here and parents over here. Okay? So there's 2, 2, and 2. Make sense? This is you. This is your biological parents, whether you know them or don't. Living or dead, doesn't matter. Well, it matters that they're alive, but for genetics. And then that's each one of their parents. Genetic coding passes through generations, and the way that it works, the Bible talks about the sins of the fathers will repeat for 3 generations. This is what's coming up. So there are things in your genetics, your coding, your frequency, that have been passed to you by your parents. Not their fault. They got it passed from their parents. And sometimes it goes back more than 3 generations. But I'm going to write some names on the board of what that looks like. And when I write the names of what that looks like on the board, you're going to be able to identify with it. And if you can, I'm going to ask you to reach out to me for a session. Either call in the bookstore, 303-964-9339. If you're overseas and that doesn't work for you, go to toolsofenergyprotection.com and click on personal sessions. Find a time, get yourself booked. You can reach out to me if you can't find a time, or if you want to do a Zoom meeting, which is like a FaceTime platform, or FaceTime so you can see me, great. But what we're going to do is we're going to shift the frequency of your genetic coding, okay? Because as long as what I'm about to write on the board is in your genetics, it gets passed to you in 2 ways. One is the DNA coding, just like your nose or your chin might look like your parents. But also, there's genetic coding that comes in your patterning. So if your parents had it, they raised you that way, then you raise your kids that way. It's just like, if your dad is a millionaire, well, when you grow up, he's going to train you how to be a millionaire. That's just how it works. But most of us, we have other things. So I'm going to write this on the board, and I'm going to put down here the words of things that are in people's DNA that have been showing up with the people that I've been working with. Are we doing okay?
Yeah, I was just going to see if I can make it bigger.
No, you can't.
Okay.
Okay. So, anyway, these are things carried in the DNA. And if science hasn't proven it yet, they need to catch up to me. All right. Anxiety. Depression. Phobia. Multiple personality disorder. Fear. Doubt. Is this ringing a bell to anybody? Anxiety is genetic. Depression is genetic. Phobia is genetic. Multiple personality disorder is genetic. Fear is genetic, and doubt is genetic, and there are more. But I don't want to write them all out because I think that about covers it for everybody. Those are the big ones that I see. So, if your parents suffered from anxiety, two things. One, the vibration that's in their body. When you're conceived, if it has anxiety in it, your cells are programmed by the creator source of all to resonate with the frequency that's around it, all right? I'm going to be silly, but I want to make this point. It's very important. There's water in here, right? Watch this. Did the water stay still while I was shaking that? No, the water follows it, right? The water is the energy you have when you are conceived. This is the energy of your environment. It forms to it, okay? But that happens in your synaptic nerves. That happens in your mindset. That's why people that suffer a lot of trauma when they're younger and then they become famous later, they had a lot of stuff they had to work through. Okay? So, I feel like I'm a little on edge tonight, but I've been pumping it in the pool, so I'm all, woohoo! Just a side note, any of these things can also be caused in your current life. So you don't necessarily have to have genetic predisposition to get any of those. But it can pass down. And right now, because we have access, the human race has access to the fifth dimensional frequency, which is so super high, we can take that energy and bring it down and put it into your personal energy field. Remember we talked about the personal energy field? Shift the frequency of the genetic coding. It's awesome. I've had some people work with me, and we clear that energy, and they feel better the next day. Can I say it's a miracle? Can I say they're cured? No. But what I can tell you is anytime I work on this with people, they tell me they feel better the next day, and it gives them the freedom to go and get help that works after that. Some people go to counseling and it just doesn't seem to help. You need the right tools. You need a counselor or a therapist. You need good nutrition. You need an exercise program and energy clearing. That's how it works together. And I'm sorry for the word need, because I know people that follow me know that I don't like that word need, but it was the only one I had at the moment. Now, that's why the ancestors are speaking to you. They're trying to get your attention and tell you what's in your bucket that needs to come out. This is not Easter time, people. You don't want anything in your bucket, unlike Easter. You want lots of presents and eggs and stuff. All right, angels. For those of you that don't like it, when I talk for a long period of time, press the pause button, come back when you're ready. All right. So, angels. Angels right now have such easy access to us. It's amazing. Because angels, most of them vibrate at the fifth and sixth dimensional frequencies. They're really high up there. Their vibration is really high. And that's why when angels speak to us, you hear the high-pitched whine in your ears. The twill, it just comes for a little bit and then goes away. If you have it regularly, you might want to check with your doctor, make sure it's not tinnitus, okay? But angels, their frequency is so high, they have to slow down and go into slow-mo to get into the third dimension. So normally, what they'll do is they'll come down into the fourth dimension, and they will talk to you. There's your little happy self. And the angels are decreasing their frequency. And by the time they get to the fourth dimension, it's like echolocation. I don't know if you've ever heard of that. When dolphins will send out that echo so they can see where they're going. The angels aren't trying to see where they're going, but they're bringing that down into your frequency so you can hear them. So what are the angels trying to tell us, right? Angels right now are working with us as these frequencies change. And basically, I'm going to tell it like it is. If you go back and watch my videos from a year ago, I'm lovey-huggy, all that. And these days we don't have time for the lovey huggy. You got to get the point and get on it. But I'm going to tell you, the angel's biggest message to me and to a lot of other people that I've worked with over the last 3 weeks is that they need to let go. So the way the planets are aligning right now in the Schumanns, and I started feeling sick or couldn't sleep or whatever when they were first hitting, and what I discovered is that not only is it shifting our DNA if we accept it, but it's also lifting us up to a higher level of consciousness. So the angels are trying to tell you where your level of consciousness is. Where are you? Where are you in your life? So here is the low level. This is down here where, the worst energy you can possibly think of is down here. So this is feeling defeated, lost, hopeless. Okay? A couple weeks ago, I was living right here. Yes, even me. Hopeless. Okay? That's where the dark side wants you. Okay? Then you've got the middle. And then you've got the higher level. Okay? This is all in the third dimension where you live. And that's what's accessible to you. So my empaths that watch me, my highly sensitive people that watch me, we are getting ready to crank up the Spiritual Awakening Academy again. I got the dates and I'll be posting them on toolsofenergyprotection.com. Click on Spiritual Awakening Academy Power. That's the first level. And what I'm going to teach you is how to navigate these lower to middle energies and come up and have your consciousness be here, because this is where you want to be during this time of transition. But if you don't know how to shield yourself, you're going to get bombarded and your little butt's going to be wiped all over the place. So that's what the Spiritual Awakening Academy is going to teach you. And I know that there's some people out there watching that are afraid. Maybe they've seen things out of the corner of their eye when they were a kid. Maybe they think they see things now, but they are too afraid to do anything about it. There's one lady that's watching tonight. She's one of my students. She's very beautiful. She gifted me with, some things to help me out. And she told me that even when she took my class, she loved every minute of it, but she wasn't always sure, of what she was learning, and she was a little afraid. So when you take the Spiritual Awakening Academy, I usually have them on Saturday or Sunday, depending on my schedule. You take the class, and I'm going to teach you how to shield yourself from the dark energies. I'm going to teach you how to know who you are in time and space, and how you can get from this lower vibration that's causing you all kinds of depression and feeling hopeless, right? And move you up a titch. Now, I was here about 3 weeks ago feeling lost, because a lot of those energies were coming so fast and furious. I wasn't sure what the heck I was supposed to be doing. I knew what I wanted to be doing, but it wasn't happening. Okay? But my desired outcome was to get the rest of the academy going. But I ended up living in Depressionville for 3 weeks because the energies just had me all over the place. Even me, right? And I work with this stuff every day. But there are times when there's going to be a shaking going on for everybody. No matter whether they live up here or they live down here. It just is. Right? Whoever you work with, whoever you choose to work with, that's fine. But I'm here for you if you would like it. And so I'm going to invite you, if you are spiritually gifted or empathic, or if you don't know, you're like, Deanna, I'm on the fence. I don't know, am I gifted or am I not gifted? Well, if you're watching me, that's a pretty good indicator. But if you still don't know, go to toolsofenergyprotection.com. That's my website, toolsofenergyprotection.com. Click on personal sessions, scroll down to where it says coffee chat or coffee talk. Click on it. It is free. Okay? It just costs you your time, and it's where you and I will talk about whatever's going on in your life and why you feel you're gifted. And if you're not gifted, I will tell you, you're not gifted. If you're gifted and you want to learn, great. If you desire to be gifted, just ask Spirit and you will get something. Maybe the gift of sight, hearing, smelling. A lot of people out there are gifted. A lot of you are spiritual beings. You're the white blood cells of the planet, and the planet needs you right now. But you're living down here and you're so schmegging scared you can't pick yourself up. So reach out to me. Tomorrow's Wednesday, so I will go and put the new dates for the Academy up on Wednesday. And the other thing is, what I'm teaching could cost hundreds of dollars. But I would much rather teach 1,000 people at $45 for 2 sessions with me and learning. Because I do the teaching first, and then I usually wait a week to 2 weeks, and I do the coaching to answer questions. So it's not a recorded thing. I'm on live. Just a little pet peeve. I have seen other people that offer different academies or learning bases, and it's all recorded, and there's nobody to help you with questions. That really just aggravates me to no end. You got to send an email. I'm going to be there, okay? And there's a special Facebook group if you're a Facebooker. Anyway, please, I implore you to reach out to me, get started, get off your butt. You got to get moving. You got to let go of this, okay? This is literally a cinder block. Lower vibrational depression, defeat, loss, hopelessness is a cinder block on your metaphorical foot, and you won't be able to reach here. And there's going to come a time very soon on this planet where we may not even have social media. Things might get that shut down. And you won't know which way is up. And whatever you hear on the news is what you're going to believe because you don't know anything else. But when you're connected, when you've done the work, when you've shed the shit, you will know. You will know. All right, gotta get off my soapbox. I won't be any shorter though. All right. Anyway, so what are the angels trying to tell you? The angels are telling you that it is time for you to poop and get off the pot. There's no or anymore. So what does that look like? There are situations in people's lives right now, and this is supported by the astrology, because I was looking at the astrology, the planets shift the vibration of the earth. So for those of you that are naysayers out there about astrology, like I used to be, here's planet Earth. I know, not real wonderful. And you've got different, maybe Saturn and Pluto and whatnot. I'm not real good at all this stuff, but over here. But any time that you have a retrograde, this planet that's in retrograde is literally stationary and the Earth is moving. But if you imagine, these planets send out frequency to our planet, right? Go look up lunar lunacy. People used to call people a lunatic or lunacy. It's because the moon would go into its lunar phase of, I think it was waxing or waning, and people that had problems in their physical body, it would disturb them enough, and they would run around looking like a lunatic. Go look it up. Anyway, so here's your Earth. Here's a couple different planets, and if this one is stationary, it's sending, say, 7 hertz down to the Earth. And that shifts the Earth's frequency up and down, as you've seen by Schumann's. Then you get another planet that comes in here and goes in between. Well, now the 7 has been shut off because you got a different planet in here. And this here was used to receiving, this planet Earth was used to receiving 7 hertz. Now you got another planet in the way messing it up, and this energy is trying to come around, and now it goes down to 4 hertz. You want to know why we have problems? Just kidding. But that's what's happening in a nutshell. I should teach another class for another day. But what the angels are trying to tell you is that if you have had, up until now, any emotions in your life that are now keeping you stuck because you refuse to change, That is on you. Change is not easy for human beings because we store everything we see, we store it in our synapses back here in the subconscious mind. It's not literal, but the way I see it, this is the conscious mind. Back here's the storage bin, subconscious mind. And whatever you see, whether it's TV or growing up, it doesn't matter if it's a movie, television, anything your eyes see, goes to the subconscious mind, stores it as real. You don't believe me? If you used to watch TV in the old days, what jingles do you still remember in your head for a particular product? Still there, because they were over and over and over and over again. Look at the news media. What are they telling you over and over and over and over again to make it real in your head? And I don't know about you, but I go on the city street, I go into the grocery store, I don't see what they're telling me on the news. I'm sure it's real somewhere, it's not my neighborhood, but it makes me afraid to go outside. Makes me afraid to travel. Fear. Really quickly. There's 2 control devices in this world. There's 2 of them. Only 2. Those 2 energies right there can change the world. Fear is a powerful motivator. Love is also a powerful motivator, right? How much fear is being put into what you're looking at every day? There's certain things I don't do, like watch TV much anymore, because there's a lot of fear in there. It's not just the news. Look at the movies. How many times in the movies do you see some guy go up to another guy and punch him? You know what that does? That causes your adrenal level to go up. Right? And your adrenals can fatigue after a while. And that's when you sink into depression and anxiety. Long enough given. Okay? But the energies are supporting us making changes. And even my angels came to me. And they said, you need to be willing to change certain things in your life in order for you to carry out your mission. I have a routine. I like my routine. I don't want to change my routine. COVID came along. I had to change my routine. I didn't like it. Now I'm in that routine. And now I have to change it again. Still don't like it. But if I don't change, how can I be an agent for change? How can I serve all of you if I stay in the same spot? I've got to get moving. So what the angels are telling you, in case you're not getting the message in plain, well, in this case, English, you've got to let go of the old ways that are not serving you anymore. There's a lot of you out there, and me too. I'm going to the gym, I'm swimming, I love it. That's why my hair looks a little weird, because I had to fit my swimming in today, and I couldn't after this. I got what I call the COVID-20, the 20 extra pounds we all got when COVID hit, but I don't like it. But if I don't change what I'm eating and putting in my mouth and move my butt and get some exercise, it's going to stay there. Chances are I might get bigger. I don't like that, so I'm moving. I'm having a willingness to change. I'm moving in the water and getting myself going. What's your willingness to change? What is God's Spirit or Source put in your path that is so disagreeable that you can't stand it? But yet it's not so disagreeable you're willing to do something about it. So if you're finding yourself uncomfortable in your current life, get your ass moving. And I would highly recommend that you contact me if you need help. There's many ways to get help out there. There are people that work for your mind and your body and me and the spirit and the soul. So you may have to go to someone else besides me, but I will refer you out if I can't help you. But energies can be cleared. One more time. two things, love and fear. So, what the angels are telling you and nudging you, whatever's weighing heavy on your mind, and you feel stuck and you can't get past it, this is what I do for a living. Because I love it. It's my thing. I'll get this person a skirt. Since last time we did a boy, this time we'll do a girl. There she is with her little skirt on. Okay. This is your beautiful self. No matter where these energies are being stored or created, in your head, your family lineage, things, whatever it is. If this person is not full of joy and not full of happiness, there's a reason. Could be your financial reason. I get that. But what happens is, energy comes out of the top of your head. It's called the crown chakra. If you're new to this, have a look. And in your crown chakra, there are energies stored in there of all different kinds. But in this case, since we're talking about the dark side, we're going to say that fear, anxiety, depression, apparently somebody's saying self-punishment, any of those will do. If you have those in your personal energy field, for whatever reason, it doesn't matter what the reason, if you're feeling it and you're not feeling joy and they're here, then they're going to come into your energy field. And they're going to go all the way down that spinal column, out your privates, and into the earth, and they're going to affect how you walk on this earth and give you less joy. My job is to connect with those energies and do this. What are you left with? Joy. I am the kind of person that I like one and done. So I would like to tell you, you book 1 hour session with me and I guarantee it'll all be gone. But that's not true because we're human and it takes human experience. So when I clear the energies for you, I'm going to give you an opportunity to move forward in your life in a different way. I give homework, so I might give you a book to read. I might refer you out to a therapist. I might suggest you start drinking more water or get some exercise. But I will be there to support you, and I will talk to your angels for you. Now, I do have somebody that's helping me tonight because I couldn't quite click the go button with my camera backwards, and I understand that there's a lot of questions in the feed. So, one last time, I would love to work with you. If you've never worked with me, but you think you might be ready, go to toolsofenergyprotection.com. Click on personal sessions, scroll down to coffee chat, and click on there and pick a time. If there's a time doesn't work for you, go to contact, get my email, say I need a different time. Okay? It's free. I won't bite. And after that, if you want to work with me, great. If you don't, great. Thanks for dropping by. Also, the bookstore, Thursday and Friday. Friday is the discounted day. That's for people that need a little help financially. So discount, it's I think discounted by $30 of my normal rate per hour. So that's 303-964-9339. All right? Or private message me if you're on Facebook. If you're on YouTube, put your comments down here. If you're on my website on the blog, you can put your comments down below if you like, or reach out to me personally. Let me see how many of these I can get. Oh, I'm looking real good. Got dark circles under the eyes and everything. All right, let's see what we got here. Tanya says, yes, Tanya, it is very super intense right now. She says she's seeing spirits outside of her bedroom door last night, and you could sense them. Okay, Tanya, I can't remember if we did the Spiritual Awakening Academy or not, but if we haven't, then we need to do that. In order to get the dark circles out, you have to up light, not down light. You have to bring the light down. There you go. Okay. Anyway. Okay, yes. And Tanya also said her ears were screeching. So definitely, Tanya, let's get together. Oh, thank you, and get that done. Danny, good to have you join me. And it looks like Jessica is joining us, and that's all the comments that I'm getting. So either I didn't quite get all the comments, or that's all of you that are speaking up, which means that many people are learning. So if you know anybody that's struggling with high-pitched whines, headaches, not sure what's happening, seeing spirits outside their door, sensing spirits outside their door, don't leave them in fear, please. A lot of times it's the angels, and they don't mean to scare you. If there are entities that are scaring you, great, then we'll send them to where they need to go, which is not near you, scaring you. That is what I have for tonight. Again, I really do enjoy the Tuesday night lives, and I enjoy talking to each and every one of you. If you have questions and you're watching this on the recording, please post the questions below. If you would like to see a live again, go up here on my Facebook page and click follow. And it'll send a notice out when I go live. But other than that, it is a very busy time. So if you're going to book with me, get on it, because I'm booking up 2 or 3 days right now in advance. I didn't call the store, so I'm not sure what's booked for Thursday and Friday, but I know they've got some time slot. And that's it. A big hugs and kisses. Maybe next week we'll be back out on the backyard lawn and talking about that. I will put up the dates for the Academy for level 1, 2, and 3 coming up, and you can sign up for the appropriate one. In the meantime, have a great and wonderful night. Big hugs and kisses. Mwah. Can you press the button, please? It says finish.